Travis Scott's Utopia is finally here. I repeat, Travis Scott's Utopia is finally here. After almost 5 years away from releasing music, Travis Scott is finally back this Friday with his brand new album Utopia. Let me tell you, it's been a really bumpy ride. From the billboards to the brand new movie to the concert in Egypt being canceled, then not being canceled, then being canceled again but not actually canceled. The road to Utopia has been really bumpy, especially at the finish. But at the finish line for Utopia, here are some of my final predictions for Travis Scott's brand new album, which looks to be the biggest album by far of 2023. From hype to artists, this is by far the biggest in hip-hop. The first thing I want to talk about is how big Travis Scott's Utopia is. How many copies is this album going to sell first week? In the past, with Astroworld, Travis Scott sold almost 550K. I know it was over 500,000, and he sold pretty well on albums before that. And my prediction for Utopia is that it's going to sell over 500 copies again first week for a few reasons. One, Travis Scott has been trying super hard to promote this album. At least for the album sales, Travis Scott released a bunch of album bundles for this album a few weeks ago with a whole bunch of different vinyls, whole bunch of different merch you could buy, and also a whole bunch of different CDs, which is really weird because you could buy the CDs, you could buy the vinyl, but you didn't know the cover. So Travis Scott was basically hoping the loyalty from his fans from over the years would pay off, and I think it did. Although I don't think these bundles are going to have a huge impact as like he's going to sell 1 million copies first week, I do think they play a part and will help him sell like 50K to 100K more copies first week. As Travis Scott has been putting more work by far in the last week than he's done with the whole album rollout for the past 4 years. First off, he dropped the song K-Pop this week, which I guess is the lead single for Utopia, but I honestly have no clue because it sounds like nothing that Utopia that we know from songs that have released in the past, and also unreleased songs that I've released in the past, sounds nothing like Utopia. It just seemed like a song to really hype up the album, and we all kind of know that, and that's what makes it funny. Even though the song is absolutely horrible, it features Bad Bunny in The Weeknd, which this song is automatically going to go number one before Utopia even drops. It also has the name K-pop, which is one of the best and biggest genres in the world right now for music. It has a music video. It even had a chopped and screwed. It also had a sped up version, and it also had an instrumental version as well. So starting off with the sales of with this song being number one already, I know Utopia is going to have a big first week. I think Utopia is going to have the biggest streaming day of any hip hop album in history for their first day. Streaming is the most dominant form right now when listening to music. When Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers came out, it was one of the largest streaming days in history. And Travis Scott, I would argue, is a bigger artist than Kendrick Lamar, at least with the crossover appeal with like pop and other genres. He does the big pop features. He's in the limelight a lot more. He has a very public life. So I think Travis Scott will have the biggest streaming day, at least of the decade by far, potentially of all time as well. Who is going to be featured on Utopia? Of who I hope is going to be on Utopia is definitely artists like Drake, and also I hope we finally get that Griselda feature on the unreleased, soon to be released Travis Scott song Lost Forever. But for artists I think are going to be on this album, I think Kid Cudi is going to get a feature on this album. With his relationship with Travis Scott, it would only make sense. I think we're going to get some type of Jackboy features. I don't really want a Sofago or Don Toliver feature. I'll take a Sheck West one. Does he really deserve it, or really I want that right now? No, but Cactus Jack has to do something for the people on his label. They've been pretty much struggling the whole time they've been signed, so I definitely think we're going to get some of the Jack Boys on there. I'll take Don Toliver, to be honest. He's pretty alright on a Travis Scott song. I think we're going to get something out of left field. I think we might get a Kanye West feature as well. Kanye West has been soft launching his career a little bit, spending time in Japan, and this would be the perfect way to put him back in the public eye of the music scene on a high profile album like Utopia. Plus him and Travis Scott are pretty good friends. Now with some songs being revealed before the album releases. I feel like at least a third of the songs on here are going to have some type of features. Travis Scott isn't somebody to have an album that's completely solo. He can't carry a solo album by itself. It's hard for anybody to have a solo album by themselves, so I think definitely a third of the song are going to have some features. I'm hoping it's Astroworld style, where he doesn't list the features and we can just hear them when we hear them, so we don't skip through the album and we can all get a raw reaction of these features. Now, for album length and how many tracks I think there's going to be on the album, for number of tracks, I feel like 20 is a perfect number. 18 to 20 tracks on the album, no more, no less than that. And then for runtime, I'm going to go with hour 10 minutes. I think would be the best bet for how long Utopia is going to be, because looking at Astroworld, it's a little bit under an hour, and I think Travis Scott has a lot more to say on this album. It's been a lot longer wait, so I think we're gonna get a little bit more music. I think the track length for each song is going to be around 3 to 4 minutes, especially with the feature. Travis wouldn't want to do a 1 to 2 minute song, but I feel like we're gonna get some longer songs as well, maybe some more introspective type of songs from Travis that range from 5 to 10 minutes. I feel like we're going to get one 8+ minute track as well. And then for what I think Travis Scott is going to be talking about definitely what's been going on the past 5 years, sort of the transition from the Astroworld era into Utopia. I do think Utopia might be Travis Scott's most conceptual album. Yes, Astroworld was a conceptual album, but it kind of like explained itself, like, oh, Astroworld, it's an amusement park. The whole atmosphere, the aura of everything around that Travis was doing explained what Astroworld was going to be. I think with Utopia, we're going to get more of the music doing a lot of the talking rather than the visuals and all that stuff Travis Scott is going to be putting out around this album. Also, I have a prediction. Travis Scott is going to drop a day one music video with Utopia. I don't know what song it's going to be, but there's definitely going to be a day one music video for one of the songs. And then the last thing I'm going to predict is kind of like the general reception of how Utopia is going to be. I think that the general reception is people are not going to be very happy just because it's been a 5-year wait, and 5 years of expectations. You can't please anybody, or I would say please a lot of people. A lot of people are just going to be disappointed with how long they had to wait for an album, because their expectations are just so unreal right now that they weren't going to like the album regardless. The expectations were so high that people don't even know what album they actually wanted. They thought they were going to get some album that doesn't even exist or ever will exist. This is like Twitter and TikTok are going to be absolute war zone when it comes to the day this album releases. It's kind of be like Captain America Civil War with a whole lot of red. I'm not going to go too far because I don't think the music Travis Scott is going to be putting out with Utopia is going to be too polarizing in that way, because Travis Scott puts out pretty quality music. I'm not saying a whole lot of red isn't quality. It was just such a left field direction for Playboi Carti, but that's a different story for a different video. I don't think it's going to have the same effect. I think it's really going to split Travis Scott fans right down the middle if they like this album, if it was really worth the wait, and also what's next for Travis Scott in this era. So just expect a lot of fighting come Twitter, TikTok, all social media spaces on Friday morning. Those are my thoughts on Utopia. I'm really expecting a great album for Travis Scott. It's been a 4-year wait. I really think this is going to be something special. I hope it is, but I can also understand if people are going to be upset about this new album just because of how long they had to wait. But let me know how you're feeling about Utopia in the comments below. Are you excited? Give me your predictions. This is the biggest hip-hop release of this year so far, so let me know how you're feeling about it, and I'll catch y'all later. Peace.